ନମସ୍କାର, ମନୋରମା ଏଜୁକେସନ୍ ଚ୍ୟାନେଲକୁ ସ୍ୱାଗତ ଜଣାଇ ଆଜିର ଭିଡ଼ିଓ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିବା।
हेलो गाइस, आज आम ए वीडियो रे क्लास 10 रो चैप्टर 7 रे थिबा मैडम राइट द बॉस रो क्वेश्चन आंसर आरंभ करबा। वर्तमान ओरल कॉम्प्रिहेंशन चेक रे कोन अछि देखबा। क्वेश्चन नंबर 1, व्हाट वाज भलीज फेवरेट पास टाइम? तो यार आंसर हो, भलीज फेवरेट पास टाइम वाज स्टैंडिंग इन द फ्रंट डोरवे ऑफ हर हाउस watching what was happening outside the street. Question number 2, what was the source of unending joy for Holly? What was her strongest desire? Your answer, the sight of the bus filled each time with a new set of passengers was a source of unending joy for Holly. Her strongest desire was to travel on the bus and ride to the nearby town and back. Question number 3, what did Holly find out about the bus journey? How did she find out these details? Your answer, Bali picked up various small details about the bus journey by listening carefully to conversations between her neighbors and people who regularly use the bus. She would ask a few detailed questions here and there to collect more information. Just like this, she knew the town was 6 miles away from her village and one side travel was 45 minutes. The one side fare was 30 paise. Question number 4. What do you think Bali was planning to do? Your answer, Bali was planning to fulfill her desire to travel by bus outside the village. ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ନେକ୍ସଟ ଓରାଲ କମ୍ପ୍ରିହେନ୍ସନ୍ ଚେକ୍ର କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ୍ ଆନ୍ସର୍ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିବା। ତ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ୍ ନମ୍ବର 1ରେ କ'ଣ ଅଛି ଦେଖିବା। Why does the conductor call Bhali madam? Her answer, she did not want anyone to treat her like a child, so the conductor amusingly started calling her madam. Question number 2, why does Bhali stand up on the seat? What does she see now? Her answer, Bhali stood on the seat to enjoy the outside scenery from the moving bus. Her view was blocked by a canvas blind covering the window's lower part. To watch the scenery outside, they stood up on the seat and peered over the blind. The bus was moving on a very narrow road. It had a canal on one side beyond which there were palm trees, grasslands, distant mountains, and a blue sky. On the other side, there was a deep ditch followed by greenery as far as one could see. ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ନେକ୍ସଟ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ୍ କ'ଣ ଅଛି ଦେଖିବା। କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ୍ ନମ୍ବର 3, what does Bali tell the elderly man when he calls her a child? Her answer, Bali was enjoying the beautiful view standing in her seat when an elderly man called her a child and advised her not to stand on the seat. The man was genuinely concerned for her, but Bali was annoyed by his attention. Bali told him she was not a child and could take care of herself. She said she had paid the fare of 30 paise for the tickets, like everyone else. Question number 4. Why did not Bali want to make friends with the elderly woman? Her answer, Bali was elderly annoyed with everyone treating her like a child. When the elderly woman came and started asking questions from Bali, she found her repulsive. The woman had big holes in her earlobes and she was wearing ugly earrings. Moreover, Bali could smell the betel nut the woman was chewing and see the betel juice about to come out of her mouth. Thus, the elderly woman was not a socially desirable person, according to Bali. ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ନେକ୍ସଟ ଓରାଲ କମ୍ପ୍ରିହେନ୍ସନ୍ ଚେକ୍ର କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ୍ ଆନ୍ସର୍ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିବା। କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ୍ ନମ୍ବର 1, ହାଉ ଡିଡ୍ ଭଲି ସେଭ୍ ଅପ୍ ମନି ଫର୍ ହର୍ ଫର୍ଷ୍ଟ ଜର୍ନି? Was it easy for her? Your answer, Bali made elaborate plans for her first bus journey alone. She made painstaking efforts to save the money she needed to take the bus ride from her village to the town. She saved 60 paise for this bus ride, resisting every temptation to buy peppermints, toys, balloons, and her desire to ride the merry-go-round at the village fair. No, it was not easy for her. Question number 2, what did Bali see on her way that made her laugh? Your answer, Bali clapped her hands with glee when she saw a young cow running along the road and came in front of the bus. As the driver honked, it started running in front of the bus. The more the driver blew the horn, the frightened the animal became, but it did not get out of the way. Somehow this was funny for Bali, and she kept on laughing till she had tears in her eyes. Question number 3. Why did not she get off the bus at the bus station? Your answer, Bali did not get off the bus on reaching the town as she had only planned for the bus ride. She had no plan to get out on the stopping street or had any money to buy a cold drink. All she had desired was a bus ride from her village to the town. On being asked by the conductor, she replied that she was too afraid to look at the sights all by herself. The bus ride, however, was nothing to be afraid of. Question number 4. Why did not Bali want to go to the stall and have a drink? What does this tell you about her? Your answer. Bali was too afraid to get off the bus alone. Moreover, she had saved only 60 paise for the trip and did not have enough money to buy herself a drink. So, when the conductor suggested she get down and have a drink, she refused. She also denied the treat offered by the conductor, which showed that she was a mature child with pride. ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ thinking about the text question answer ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିବା question number 1 what was Bali's deepest desire find the words and phrases in the story that tell you this your answer Bali's deepest desire was to go on a bus ride the words and phrases in the story that tell this are overwhelming desire dreams hopes wish become stronger and stronger the most fascinating thing of all and source of unending joy. Question number 2. How did Holly plan her bus ride? What did she find out about the bus and how did she save up the fare? Your answer. When Bali developed a desire to take a bus ride outside her village, she planned and calculated everything to fulfill this desire. Bali picked up various small details about the bus journey by listening carefully to conversations between her neighbors and people who regularly use the bus. She would ask a few detailed questions here and there to collect more information. She collected the money by resisting every temptation ranging from peppermints, toys, balloons, and merry-go-round at the village fair. After much effort, she finally saved 60 paise for her two-side bus ride. Question number 3. What kind of person is Bali? To answer this question, pick out the following sentences from the text and fill in the blanks. The words you fill in are the clues to your answer. Your answer. Stop the bus, and a tiny hand was raised commandingly. Bit 2. Yes, I simply have to go to town, said Bali, still standing outside the bus. Bit 3. There's nobody here who has child. She said heartily, I have paid my 30 paise like everyone else. Bit 4. Never mind, she said I can get on by myself. You don't have to help me. I am not a child. I tell you, she said irritably. Bit 5. You need not bother about me. I can take care of myself. Bali said, turning her face toward the window and staring out. Bit 6. Then she turned to the conductor and said, well, sir, I hope to see you again. Question number 4. Why does the conductor refer to Bali as madam? ତ ଏହାର ଆନ୍ସର ଓରାଲ କମ୍ପ୍ରିହେନ୍ସନ୍ ଚେକ୍ର କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ୍ ନମ୍ବର 1ରେ ଅଛି ତ ସେଇଠୁ ଦେଖି ଦେଖି ତୁମମାନେ ଲେଖିନେବ ନେକ୍ସଟ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ୍କୁ ଯିବା କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ୍ ନମ୍ବର 5 ଫାଇଣ୍ଡ ଦ ଲାଇନ୍ସ ଇନ୍ ଦ ଟେକ୍ସଟ which tell you that Bali was enjoying her ride on the bus. Your answer. The following lines in the text show that Bali was enjoying her ride on the bus. Bali devoured everything with her eyes. On the one side there was the canal and beyond it palm trees, grassland, distant mountains and the blue sky. On the other side was a deep ditch and then acres and acres of green fields, green as far as the eye could see. Oh, it was all so wonderful. Everyone laughed and gradually Bali too joined in the laughter. Suddenly Holly clapped her hands with glee. Somehow this was very funny to Holly. She laughed and laughed until there were tears in her eyes. Holly was not bored to the slightest and greeted everything with the same excitement she had felt the first time. Question number 6. Why does Wally refuse to look out of the window on her way back? Your answer. On her way back to the village, Wally saw a lifeless cow lying on the roadside. It was the same cow that was so joyful on their journey to the town. She was shocked to see how a lovable, beautiful creature now looked horrible lying on the road, lifeless. The memory of the dead cow haunted her and took away her enthusiasm. Thus she sat on her seat silently, after this and refused to look out of the window. Question number 7. What does Vali mean when she says, I was just agreeing with what you said about things happening without our knowledge? Her answer, when she got home, her mother was up and chatting with an aunt from South Street. When her aunt asked her where she had gone, Bali simply smiled. Listening to their conversation, Bali agreed that things happen without our knowledge. She smiled to herself as her mother had no knowledge about Bali's ride alone and would possibly never know about it. Hence, she agreed with what her mother said. Question number 8. The author describes the things that Bali sees from an 8-year-old's point of view. Can you find evidence from the text for this statement? Her answer, the author has described the things Bali saw from an 8-year-old's point of view. Her favorite pastime was standing in the front doorway of her house, watching what was happening outside the street. Watching the bus filled with a new set of people each time was a source of unending joy for her, and she built a desire to take a bus ride.